What's going on, Herd? Welcome to another episode of Cover Lovers, where we get to talk about this week's incentives as well as store exclusives. So with us, as always, Mike and Deo. How you guys doing?
Hey, I am great. I was really upset to have to miss last week's show. I am sorry to anybody who cares. But I had a really rough, food poisoning or something that hit me a couple hours before the show. And I almost came on anyway, and I'm really glad I didn't. It would have been bad. I ended up running out of the room half an hour later. But I am thrilled to be back, talk about some covers. And it's great to be back with you, Alonzo. I feel like you and I haven't been on the same show together in like a year and a half. It's not that one. I'm exaggerating.
I know. I feel bad. But you know what? We're going to make it up. It's just going to be us two tonight. Yep. So we'll just have a lot of time to talk about stuff. So it's going to be great.
Right. Yes, it is. Yeah.
So
how you doing? Well, how you doing? Wait. How you doing?
No, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Looking forward to hanging out with you, Mike. Hanging out with Dale. I wanted to hear stories about his Transformers or anything that any new toys that he's got. You know, like Hot Wheels or something.
He got a bunch of Legos. He got the what are the Hot Wheels called? The chrome ones. You got 4 of those. The super fancy ones.
Yeah, because those are from the store, the one that has my image actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Those are fire.
You got this cool steering wheel thing that's like an air wheel. It makes noises like he's speeding down the road and stuff.
Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah, you gave me that. I'll show you that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know this is show and tell, huh, Mike?
His girlfriend Lainey gave it to him, so he's got to show it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's serious, man. They fight like they're married. It's hysterical. And they have to be next to each other. Do
they hold hands too?
All the time. Look at this thing.
Oh my god, that is great. I love it.
We got to turn it on. How do you turn it on? There you go. That's how you do it. Wait, is it this? Yeah, there we go. And it vibrates. It's got haptic
feedback. We go. We've got watch out.
Oh my god, that is fantastic. I love it.
On the track.
All right, buddy. Why don't you go play with that? Why don't you say goodbye to everybody? You say goodnight. Say goodnight to Trish.
Bye.
Say goodnight to Alonzo. Thanks, buddy.
Good night.
I love
Great
you,
seeing you.
I missed you.
Oh, I miss you too, man. God, thank you so much. You're very sweet. Man, Dale's I love your son. He's just amazing.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. And as always, before we get started, let's give a few shout outs. First and foremost, to our sponsors, one of them being Cover Price. Don't forget to use Nerdvana 14 for 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. And don't forget to head over to Bird City Comics and use TNH as your coupon code to save yourself 10% off your purchase. Oh, I love it. Look at that.
He's the sweetest human on the planet.
Look at that. I love it.
Can you close the door, buddy?
And then a really quick shout out to our 4 horsemen, Uncle Rudy, Something Wong, Gianime, and Glenn 2K12. Thank you guys so much for making the community what it is, the chat what it is. And we miss you guys. So definitely hope to see you guys here in the chat sometime soon. I know we saw you last week, but hopefully we'll see you guys on this show as well. And then also quick shout out to our DJ, Eddie, Beats by Monza. Thank you very much for helping us out with all of the beats, and let us dive into the chat. We had Trish. Thank you, Trish, for stopping by. Sam, I am. What is going on? Yes, team of 2 tonight. Yes, sir. And Apollo, what is going on? Thank you for stopping by. And also Mama Lucy Comics. Lucy, thank you for tuning in.
Good to see you.
Yep, and look at that night deal. Oh, I love it, love it. All right. So without further ado, we have this week's incentives. So let us get started with our first comic. So we got tons, as you would know, right? We have World Tree. We have a 1 in 10 by Jenny Frison, 1 in 25 by Bill Sienkiewicz, 1 in 50 by Zu Orzu, a 1 in 75 by Peach Momoko, and a 1 in 100 homage, of course, by Alvaro Martinez Bueno. All right, it's a lot to take in. It really is. So we'll give it a sec. Let it soak it all in, Mike. Soak it all in.
Let it marinate a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Let it just a little bit.
I think I've got it in my head.
Let's hear it.
All right, so the Bueno, I think it's a little early for Nice House on the Lake homages. The thing's not even a year old yet, so I mean, I think we're jumping the gun on homaging that right now. But I get that it had kind of a cool aesthetic, and those covers definitely had their own style. But I mean, I don't know. And as a 1 in 100, it's really not a great cover, and I think that's definitely a wash. That's a hard no for me. I want to like the Peach. I actually really do. There's some cool elements to it. I like the tattoos and some of the background stuff, but it is certainly not 1 in 75 material. I love Zu Orzu's stuff, and that's a really, really cool sort of like dark, creepy, but sexy kind of cover. Again, the character's cool, and it's really similar actually in its impressionism to the Bill Sienkiewicz. You know me, I'm a Bill Sienkiewicz homer, but I'm also a Jenny Frison homer. The Jenny Frison's an easy mark because it's a 1 in 10, and it probably will be relatively cheap and easy to get, but it is kind of a cookie cutter Frison, colored green. So I don't know that I love it. I think the one that does it most for me is the Sienkiewicz. It's really weird. It's really creepy. It's got some cool lines to it. It actually intrigues me to read the story, which I think is the point of a cover, last I checked. So I'm going Sienkiewicz, followed by Orzu, followed by Frison, followed by Peach, and last is the Bueno. So Sienkiewicz is my winner on this one because it's weird. But I get that Sienkiewicz is love him or hate him. So I love him, but I could see people going, what the F is happening on that cover? I don't want any part of it. How about you?
I hear you. I mean, that it does look very, very freaky.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard about World Tree, it's a horror. It's a horror book, so it definitely fits that kind of vibe for it. So I'm definitely into that as well. I do like the Zor Uzo, but I have her face reminds me of that. Oh my god, that one model. She was in Valerian.
Oh, yeah. What is her name? You're right. That does look like her.
It looks like her, right?
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god! If you guys in the chat know, it's the actress that was in Valerian. She's also a supermodel, or was a supermodel. I don't know if she's doing that anymore. She's one of Taylor Swift's like buddies, like part of that whatever entourage or whatever that thing is. I definitely forgot, but it looks like her. You're absolutely right with the Frison. It looks like just a kind of a standard cover for her because it's like we've seen that pose, we've seen it time and time again. The Peach, I like it, but at the same time I kind of don't. It has to do with that kind of floating body type thing. You know, I wish there was just kind of more to it than just kind of like the body's just kind of the torso's like melting away almost. And then I agree with the
character from Saga with no legs, with
her
guts coming out of the bottom of her.
Yeah, because it's like dripping, right?
Yeah.
And then the homage for a house on the lake. I like it, but at the same time, like, So of all of them, I would have to go with the Zu Orzu. I think that's the best one in my opinion.
Solid choice.
Yeah, for these, and then it would be the Sienkiewicz, then the Peach. Whoops. What happened? What happened?
No more slideshow for you.
Yeah, looks like my looks like it died. Hold on, give me a second. We're having some technical difficulties here. Let us try this again. 1 second.
Cara Delevingne or Delevingne.
That's her. Yes, yes, that is her. Thank you, thank you.
I don't think I ever knew her name. Now that I see that name written down.
Nah. Oh my gosh. Let me see. We are having difficulties. There we go. Is that back up? Do you guys see it?
Yep. Well, no, but I see the cover lover's background.
Okay, let me see.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so we're alive. We're alive. Thank you. And I do apologize for the technical difficulties. All right, so that's what we have. Apollo, I know you had mentioned earlier that this came out last week. I didn't see it. It might have gotten delayed, which is also, I just checked right now under League of Geek, and I don't think World Tree is there as well. So I don't know if it got delayed.
It did. So that was the one that had the cover that was too dark. That was technically a recall, and they're sending out the new cover this week with the lighter coloring, I think, on the A cover. And then now all this stuff is flooding into the stores too. Because last week my shop got just the A cover and none of the variants. So I'm guessing that's probably what happened. There was that weirdness going on with the A cover being too dark.
Gotcha. Okay. And I just checked again. Looks like League of Geek is saying that it is coming out this week.
Yeah.
So we're good there. We're good there.
I think Midtown did too.
Awesome. And then a shiny suit. Thank you very much, Cara Delevingne. Man, it does look like her, right? So I'm glad we're seeing it. All right, moving on to the next one here. We have Harley Quinn at number 29. We have a 1 in 25 by Megan Hetrick and a 1 in 50 by Matthias Bergara. All right, Mike.
So I like both of these. I like both of these covers, to be honest with you. There's some really cool things going on in that Bergara that make it stand out as a very different style. It might be just a little bit too stylized for my tastes. But I really like the Megan Hetrick. That may be my favorite cover of hers in a really long time. I like that there's some attention to the background. Finally, there's some design aesthetic going on there. I like that it's the old Harley costume. I'm always a sucker for the original costume from the show, from the original comics. So while I like some of the cool line work and sort of impressionism going on in the Bergara, I'd be interested to see that in person. I'm leaning toward the Hetrick. Great colors too in the Hetrick. Yeah, I dig it. I think it's pretty cool, and they both feel like incentives to me too. Thank God.
I would agree. I mean, it's tough to pick between both of them. I mean, they both have so many positives about them. I'm just gonna say I will get both because I think both of them look amazing. So at my LCS, I'm definitely getting them both. If I had to choose, because I had a gun to my head, I would definitely choose a Hetrick, only because just like you, I appreciate Harley in her Harlequin suit. I think it's a classic. I think it's fantastic. I love it. And we don't see it very often anymore. So no. I definitely like it. It's very appealing to me. And I do like the background. I like the Harlequin checker that's on the back, on the what looks like to be the bat symbol. So I dig it. So that would be the one for me.
Sticks. I haven't torn anybody apart just yet.
Just yet, but we'll see. We'll get there. Trust me.
There's be somebody tonight. I'm sure there's.
Trust me, we'll get there.
I've been really positive so far.
All right. How about this one right here? Green Arrow number 1. We have a 1 in 25 by Ijikuri. Hopefully I said that correctly. And a 1 in 50 by Frank Cho. And if you'll allow me, if you'll indulge me, Mike, I'd like to go first.
Of course, please do.
I am a huge fan of Frank Cho. I like the cover. There's something wrong with it. I just don't like it because it's Green Arrow, and why do we have Black Canary on a Green Arrow? Especially it's a Green Arrow number 1. So kind of like, ugh. And then you look at the E.G. Curry again. I hope I'm saying that right. At a 1 in 25, and I like anime, but I feel like it's too anime-ish for my taste. It does feel a little bit more digital. I don't like the face of Black Canary. I'm glad it has Green Arrow on here. But again, it just looks a little off to me. So I'm not really feeling it. I do like the fact that Black Canary has some big thighs. It looks very thick. I love it. But then from the waist up, I mean, she kind of shrinks. So I sadly would not pick any of them. But if I had a gun to my head, I still wouldn't choose any of them. I just don't like them. I mean, seriously, I just wish, like, for the Frank Cho one, I mean, and I do like the cover, but it's Green Arrow #1. It should have Green Arrow on there. But again, it doesn't. So I can't pick it. So Mike.
I'm kind of on the same plane as you for the same reasons. You know me, the Edge Curry one is not my thing, man. It's too digital, too anime. I especially don't like the hard angles on things in anime. That bothers me too. Yeah, I mean, the proportions are weird on Black Canary. I also love Cho. You know, he's one of my top probably 5 artists of all time. Clearly, he's known for drawing women. So I think that's probably why he chose to do the Black Canary cover. But he did this same thing with Fight Girls, where he did the character with all this crap behind them, with this weird angled shit going on. And I didn't like it there either, even though that was sort of his creator-owned book that he did for AWA. But he's kind of using that same design aesthetic on this cover. And I didn't like it then, and I still don't like it now. I almost just wish that stuff wasn't back there and it was her same drawing, just blown up, cropped differently. Or maybe just do the canary picture in the background by itself as the whole background with her over the top of it. Might look cool. I don't know. So there's some weird choices going on, and yet still there's a lot of negative space, like wasted space on here. I feel like everything's just too small on there. So you're right. I'm the same way. I would happily just hand them back to somebody. I had the opportunity to get the Ejikuri, and I did not grab it. So no interest.
All right. I'm glad we're in agreement. Look at that. This is great. And it seems like the chat as well. Even Apollo's like, pass, baby. Yes. I like how Styx had mentioned, like, if they called it a guest star variant, it might be okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, I would agree with that. And then Still Chillin' also said the same thing when you had mentioned Fight Girls.
Yeah.
That the style looked very similar.
Yep. Matt, that might even be a redrawn Fight Girls cover, considering she's doing that kick like that. I have to take a look closer at those, but it might be.
And also Jane Nunya also agreed with you, right? This is a weird pose and background.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, hopefully this will be a little bit better. This is for Grimm. We have a 1 in 25 by Raul Allen and a 1 in 50 by Javier Rodriguez. All right, Mike, let her rip. What do you think?
I do like the Raul Allen quite a bit. As a matter of fact, kind of has that Francesco Francavilla look to it, which I really dig. That's one of my favorite sort of aesthetics for covers. I don't know that it matches Grimm per se. I haven't really read the book, so I'm not really sure. But I think it's pretty cool the way he's using negative space and creating depth and great lines and some cool use of color without outlined stuff. That's sort of a cool choice there, where he, like the ripples in the water and stuff don't have black lines going through them. I don't like the Javier Rodriguez at all. I actually think it's a downright terrible cover. What is that? An elf? That looks like a badly drawn, like, Zelda character. I can't tell what the hell that's supposed to be. It's really bad. And the skull isn't even good. So it also has a similar sort of like trying to be Francavilla aesthetic and failing. So not good. Certainly not a 1 in 50. I don't know that I would pay $25 for the Raul Allen, but I definitely would pick it up, hold it, take a closer look at it, and debate whether I wanted it. It's a pretty cool cover. I like it. I don't have any interest in Grimm though. I passed on all the Frisson covers too. So this is not my thing so far.
So it looks like Jay, looks like a lot of the guys in the chat has read Grimm and have provided some opinions on that. For me, on these covers, for whatever reason, that 1 in 50 reminds me of what is that one cartoon that was in the 70s? It had the family had the two kids, and then the dad. One of them was a science. Like it's like Venture Brothers did a parody. It was a parody of them. Johnny Quest.
Oh, Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest, right? You get the skull that comes out, like in the when the show comes on, right? At least that's the kind of vibe. I figured like Javier Rodriguez is trying to be Michael Cho, and that's how I kind of get that vibe. And I don't think he's doing a very good job of trying to be this other artist.
Yeah.
I do like the Raul Allen. And I do kind of feel like it is a 1 in 25, only because it's like a virgin variant.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's great. I like the depth that you get and what he's created here. I like the skulls. I like that ghoul that he has in the back. I mean, and the little heads, the skulls that are in the water there. The only thing I wish is one of the heads would kind of like turn around, kind of looking at us.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
I thought that'd be kind of fun.
And that would have also created some extra depth to the cover too, which would have been
cool. Because I mean, it looks like they're all like focused on the main character.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to have kind of one like, hey, I know you're looking. They kind of get that like eerie vibe.
It's the Bob Ross trope, right? You do that and it pushes everything else back. And it's kind of really cool. It creates depth.
Yep.
Except not a big happy tree. Except not a big happy tree. Inigo Montoya, you killed my father. How many fingers do you have on your left hand?
That's right. All right. Oh, how about this one here, Mike? It's by Sebastian Fiumara, and it's for Detective Comics 1071, and it's a 1 in 25.
I really like this cover a lot, as a matter of fact. And, it's funny because I like the A covers a lot for Detective right now. I can't remember who the artist just dropped out of my brain. Shit. And so it's taking a lot for incentives to outdo the A covers for me. Mm-hmm. But this one's really, really cool. There's a little bit of overworking done to the faces. Just a touch of too much there, but it doesn't ruin the cover for me. There's a lot of really cool details. The roses, obviously the utility belt is super cool. There's a nice, I don't know, there's a great flow to the way they're joined. And I really like it. I like the layout of it. I like the colors of it. Sort of that blue wash over everything. I think this is a beautiful cover. I probably won't buy it, but just because I don't do detective and a lot of these covers start to look the same, but this style actually looks different. And Fiumara has some really nice covers. If you've not been paying attention to his work, it's worthwhile to go back and take a look at some of his earlier stuff from the year because he's had some really beautiful covers. This one might be his best, though. This is really good. I like it.
Nice. I like it too, but I got to nitpick a little bit. I know Sticks had said Batman looks 70. I figured like this is like dad bod Batman, right? This is dad bod Batman. I don't like how he's positioned.
It worked for Boba Fett.
Exactly. And I figured like he's positioned a little weird so the perspective's a little off, or maybe not the perspective, but the positioning of Batman and how he's looking is just a little off for me. And then what is he doing with his I don't know, I guess right hand? I mean, I don't know what he's doing there. I mean, it's just like, what is he doing? I don't know. But I love the detail on the belt. I love Catwoman, how she looks. I mean, it's really a cool cover. I do feel like it's incentive worthy, as you have said. I do like the palette, that like kind of like cyan or bluish tone. I dig it. Again, just a couple little things here and there, but it's a great looking cover.
Jay, you're right. And I love Martin Simmons, just as an aside. I don't think there's any covers from Martin this week. But I love his work. Being a Bill Sienkiewicz guy, Simmons is clearly influenced by him. And I basically love everything he touches. So even his bad covers are awesome, in my opinion.
Nice. I love how style.
Yeah, that's it. 70-year-old Batman's having some back problems. He's trying to carry her weight and trying to manipulate something.
I know. He's like, what does he got?
So, he's got to get back there and give a little "How's your father" back there.
I love it. I love it. You know, I'm okay with Batman with a dad bod when he looks like this. I mean, it's not like overdone. I mean, it looks nice.
No, I dig it.
All right. And how about this one here by Lee Gabbert for Doctor Strange 1 in 25?
I actually like it. I like the smooth lines of it. I like some of the design aesthetic of it, but I'll tell you what, nothing is going to beat the A cover this week. Check out the Malieve A cover, and you will not. I don't know why they're not switched. I don't know why this wasn't the A cover, and they should have just done a version of the Alex Malieve for the 1 in 25, because that's the cover. That's the winner of the week, incentive or not, in my opinion.
You heard it here.
I think it's the best cover of the week. So this, while I like this, it doesn't really move me. It's nice, but this feels like the A or B cover to me, and the Malieve feels like the incentive. So this is a pass.
And just so you guys know, this is the Malieve cover.
Yeah.
Whoops. That Mike's talking about.
Look at the depth and shadow work and the freaking, oh my good Lord. I mean, that's just beautiful stuff. Love it.
It's an amazing cover, and you're absolutely right. I feel like this cover doesn't light a candle to that.
No.
That cover B or cover A, whatever it is.
I think that's A.
Yeah. They should have switched it. You're right. They should have switched it. I like this cover, but I feel like this cover is just like meh, or it's like a panel that's in the comic. There's just nothing special about it, right?
The coloring is probably the nicest part of it, to be honest with you.
Yep. So yeah, I firmly agree, and at least we know where Doctor Strange's hands are going, unlike Batman's from the previous deck or the previous slide.
Yeah.
All right. How about this one? This one right here is the Lazarus Planet, Revenge of the Gods, number 4 by Michael Cho, 1 in 25.
So I love Michael Cho's work. I've always loved it. I loved it since they did those 1 in 10 or 1 in 15s back on all the Marvel titles way back in the day, where they had the straight color, single color background ones. And I've liked this run. There's been a Wonder Woman, there's been a Yara Floor, and there's been whatever Shazam, whatever you want to call him, Captain Marvel, whatever we're calling him today. But I like this Mary Marvel cover. I think this is the best of them. I think the pose is the best. I think she doesn't have enough covers, in my opinion. This book's pretty cheap right now. You can get this for like $15, and I think this is worth the buy. And I'm actually going to buy this cover this week. Her face is a little weird, i.e., her smile's a little big, but somehow I kind of like that. It's endearing somehow. I don't really know why, but I've really liked these covers, and I've waited for this one. I haven't bought the other 3 because I really, really like this one over and above all the rest of them. So it's not perfect. It's not amazing. It does feel like an incentive. It'd probably look great with the other 3. If you had all 4 of these covers, it probably looks fantastic. But this is my favorite of the 4, and this is the one that I'm going to buy.
Okay. I'm okay with this, but for $15, I would definitely buy it. I just kind of, I don't like that smile. I know you like it, but for me, I just don't. I feel like it's very, you know how like they had Shazam or Captain Marvel as a cartoon or whatever back in the 60s or whatever, like his eyeballs were just dots, and then he had this big smile. I kind of feel like it's the same with this one. I do like, I guess if that's Wonder Woman or Yara on the bottom there, I like the depiction of her, and I love the rabbit. That rabbit, there's so much detail going on in that rabbit. I wish we'd have a little bit more kind of work done on Mary Marvel's face a little bit.
Yeah.
Because but I do feel like for $15 for a 1 in 25, I would definitely take it, but definitely not one of my favorites.
I think it's a pretty layout, and I like some of the choices, like doing that pottery, that sort of Greek or Roman pottery thing in the background is cool. I guess in this case, Themyscira, if that's what it's supposed to be. I don't really know. I haven't read the book, so I'm not really sure where it takes place. But yeah, I like some of the choices. The face is the problem. The face has been the problem on all 4 of them. If you remember, we talked about the Captain Marvel one where his head looked smushed.
Yes.
I thought there was the same problem with the Yara Floor. And I can't remember what I didn't love about the Wonder Woman. Her proportions looked weird to me, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So they all had something a little off, but they're not selling for a whole hell of a lot. So I don't know. I like his Golden Age aesthetic. I think it's cool.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Okay, thank you. It's a Golden Age aesthetic. Thank you so much for that. All right, how about this one? Scotty Young, Strange Academy Finals, number 6, 1 in 25.
Just no. just no. Come on. I mean, first of all, there's a billion Scotty Young covers that are not incentives. So if you like Scotty's work, yeah, he's done basically every character in some B cover version. Go buy those if you like Scotty. I don't like Scotty doing this stuff because in his other style that I really love and I miss desperately. I know he created this thing and he's the guy who's known for doing these things, but it's like John Tyler Christopher, right? The action figure thing, bro. We're done. We're done. It's okay. Move on. Come up with something else. You're talented. You're both talented guys. Obviously, Scotty's super popular. His line at Heroes Con was around the con twice because everybody wanted to meet him. So I get it. Clearly, I'm in the minority on Scotty Young. I know they're fun, but it's been done to death. Enough is enough. Go back to your old style that was really, really cool. I would buy those in a heartbeat. This is a hard pass for me.
Okay. I am also going to pass on this one. I like the cover, but you know what? It's weird that they're making this 1 in 25 because a lot of the baby covers that he's done for Strange Academy have been cover A or cover B or cover C or something like that. Yep. I haven't seen a 1 in 25 in a while from Scotty Young in the baby format, and I don't like it. I really don't. There's some other covers that are in this week that are a lot better for Strange Academy than this one. Like the Ramos one looks fantastic.
Yes, I like that one too.
Yeah, it just I'm just not a fan of this one for 1 in 25. But I do like Scotty Young's work. I do like the little baby covers. I think they're great. I just for 1 in 25, it's a pass for me. There we go. 1 in 25. Yes, they are. They can be. But a lot of the stuff that he's done, I mean, it's great. But I don't know about this one. Very true. Very true. All right. Moving on to the next. We have Scan for Venomlethal Protector, a 1 in 25. All right. Take it all in, Mike.
This feels like a store variant to me. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a good way. Now, store variants have started to take off in different directions, thankfully. But when we think of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse and what they do every single week on every single book, they all kind of look like this. Sort of too many characters jammed on the cover, sort of like this overly digital look to it. It's just sort of blah to me. Nothing's bad about it, and I like that Nick Fury's on there, especially old school Nick Fury. Not that I don't like the Sam Jackson version, but I like that this version is on there. You just don't see that version anymore. Mm-hmm. Venom looks good. It's okay. Is that Silver Sable? Is that who that's supposed to be?
That is Silver Sable.
So I mean, no parts of it are bad. It just doesn't do it for me. Now, if this were like a B cover, that'd be the one I would probably choose as the off the rack $4 book. But I certainly wouldn't pay a premium for this. This doesn't do it for me. It just feels like something we've seen 1,000 times.
Yeah, I would agree. Nothing special about it. You know what? It does feel like a store incentive, and it's probably because we know Scan from doing a lot of store variants.
Yeah.
So it definitely has that kind of aesthetic for it. It's like, oh, I need these 3 characters here, so let's just kind of put them in a very static pose almost.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel any energy. I don't feel like they're doing anything. It's I do like Silver Sable. I mean, she looks fantastic.
Yeah, I almost wish it were just her. Then I'd probably love it, to be honest.
Oh my God. Yes. That would be great. So yeah, I'm in full agreement with you, Mike.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Missed opportunity.
Yep. Have a nice Silver Sable. Yep. That is 100% true. All right. Moving on to the next one here. This one was supposed to be for Big Rob. So this is Darth Vader Black, White, and Red #1, 1 in 25 by Carrie Andrews. Oh, no?
Okay, full disclosure, I got a copy of this because I like it, but I don't love it. I think maybe because it looks too much like the Mark Brooks cover from the original Darth Vader run. It almost feels like it's trying too hard to be that cover. I don't know if you guys remember that. That's probably back like, how many years ago is that now? 6-7 years ago? I don't know. It's a long time now. And that cover is kind of an expensive cover. It looks nice. It looks a little too much like maybe it's a retouched photo to me, though, which kind of bothers me. I don't like. So Carrie Andrews, there's two different Carrie Andrewses in the world. There's the one that fully paints things, and those covers are beautiful. And then there's the ones that seem very much like they are retouched photos, and that sort of bothers me. It feels a little lazy to me. I also don't really like the black, white, and red trope very much. And again, not to be on the Alex Maleev train this week, but the B cover for this is an Alex Maleev that is better than this cover. So if I'm going to choose one, I'm going to choose the Alex Maleev. From a price standpoint. Now I got my copy of this really cheap, so I couldn't leave it there. I got it for $10, so I wasn't going to leave this there for $10, but I wouldn't have paid $25 for it. That's for sure.
I would agree. I know Big Rob was raving about this one. I think it looks cool, but once you mentioned that a GTC cover that he did that was like black and white. Had some. It kind of does like play into that. So I kind of like it a little bit less, but I know Big Rob was really excited about it. We did show it off last week, where you could get it. I forgot where you could get it, but it was only like $22.99 or something like that. So for that price, I couldn't pass it up. I did buy it, but now again, since you mentioned that, I'm like, oh, you know what? I guess it has been done before. And now I can see them both. But I would really for the things that you didn't like about it, Mike, I like it. So I like the whole black, white, and red. I know it's weird. But I don't like it as much now, and you kind of ruined it for me.
Sorry. It's not a bad cover, don't get me wrong.
It's a good cover.
I'm not bashing it. It just doesn't feel special to me. I got a copy, so clearly, full disclosure, I got a copy. So obviously, I liked it enough to take it home. But still.
Oh, look at it! It's the same thing. I ain't mad at it. Would make a cool DVD.
It would make a cool ass DVD cover. That's for sure.
Come on. Yes. It was like $22 or something like that at that one site from last week's show, Sam. So yeah. Yeah, I feel bad, but.
Jay, to be fair, people want everyone in 25 Vader. There could be a pile of poop on there. If it said Darth Vader at the top, people would want it. So yeah, you're right, but.
Oh, very true, very true. All right. How about this one? This one's a little weird. It's for What the Furthest Place from Here, and I think this is issue number 12, 1 in 10 by Lane Lloyd. I kind of dig it only because it's very comic strip-ish. So I get that vibe from it. I have no idea what's the furthest place from here is about. But I kind of dig it. I dig it because it's just funny to me. And it being a 1 in 10, I feel like it's not going to be like a huge investment, but it's just fun. I feel, God, what is this like? It reminds me of, what is that comic book strip? I think it was like Dagwood or Blondie or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. Yeah,
is
Blondie.
it?
Yeah, Blondie.
Yeah, and it just looks like that, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
a 1 in 10. I'm like, sold. So yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I'm glad I'm not alone. Apollo's like, yes, why not?
Yeah, it is kind of one of those like 1 in 10. Screw it. I mean, but
go ahead.
It's pretty fucking terrible. I mean, it's really. So like I go, I've said this before. If I can draw it, I ain't buying it. Like it's one of those kinds of things, right? I could definitely draw this. There's no doubt about that. Would I draw it? No, I would try to draw it better than this if I could. But I get that it's aiming toward something specific, and yeah, it does kind of have that Dagwood feel to it. I think maybe the part I'd like the least about it is the washed out color of it. Maybe it's just this particular thumbnail that we have. Maybe it's a little bit brighter than this, but the trade dress gets washed out, which is fine since it's 7 freaking words. I mean, people are off the chain on the titles right now. Something is killing the children was bad enough with 5 words. Now we got this. What's the furthest place from here? And I mean, come on, that's a lot. But yeah, it's pretty awful art. But again, you're right. Like, why not take a flyer on it if you get it for like $7 or $8? What the hell, right? But I mean,
yeah, come on, it's issue number 12. I mean, who's buying 10 of these?
I don't know, but none of my shops are ordering 10 of these. My shop will get two copies of this, if that many. But it's pretty awful.
And by awful, you mean awesome?
Awfulsome. Awesome. Oh, dude, Jay, you are absolutely right. Before we move further, the Vader, that's the winner for the Vader is the Delato is delicious. The Delato is delicious.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful cover, and it's just a B cover. I think there's a version of it, like I don't know, 1 in 1 billion.
1 in 1 billion?
I don't know what it is, but but yeah, there's a lot of
it's a 1 in 100.
Yeah. But there's a B cover of it. Yeah, it's pretty. Look at that thing. That's pretty great. Just the glints of light they make it for me right there. It's pretty damn cool.
That is pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a pretty great cover. I mean, it doesn't necessarily do anything new, but it's Delato crushing it as usual. Yeah, I love that juxtaposition between Delato's Vader and this steaming pile of garbage right here.
What? Come on.
Oh my god. Yeah.
All right. Is that why Lane Lloyd isn't showing himself? He's like, no pictures, please.
Yeah.
All right. How about this one? Neighbors number 2 by Zoo, and it's a 1 in 15.
Am I going first?
Yeah, by all means, please.
I'm like you said in the first slide. I really like Zoo's work. It's weird, and I like that it's weird. There's a few cool covers for this one this week. There's actually a cool Rosemary's Baby homage from Stephanie Hans, I want to say, which is actually pretty well done too. This blows that away though. This feels like an incentive. It's got some really cool, dark, creepy things going on in it. Very macabre kind of cover. I like the face. I like the contrast between her being all white and then all the other stuff being red and black. It's a very good cover. And at 1 in 15, if you can find this near ratio, I've heard that the first issue was pretty good for this book. So this could be a thing. I like the cover, and I like the potential spec on it too, if that's a thing for you. So, but I'm also a homer on her. So,
yep, I dig it. I love this cover. Oh my gosh, like last week she had a great Wonder Woman cover. As an incentive.
Man,
right?
I wanted that cover so badly. I didn't get it.
I
love that Wonder Woman. Damn.
And then she follows it up with another one. I mean, she's banging them out, which is kind of good.
Well, and
it's surprising because she does a lot of stuff. She's painting everything, right?
Yep.
So it's like, oh my god. I mean, this is how you do it. I mean, Peach Momoko should be doing stuff like this because she's banging out covers. Like, yeah, that's right. So this cover, I'm like, I love the face. I love the eyes. I feel like it's very right. It's very telling.
Yeah, that's what does it for me. And I'm always a sucker for really detailed hair, which is why I love Selina's work so much. Those are 2 big things for me: eyes and hair. You have all kinds of butts. Oh, God, that's different, man. Yeah, the Franny cover, that was pretty awesome. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's the one. There's a version of it and a non-version of it. But yeah, that Franny was cool for number 1. But I heard the book was good too. Like the read was good. I don't know. I didn't read it. I have the Franny, but I didn't read it yet.
I may have to check this thing out. I gave it a pass just because it's like, you have so much stuff on your pull list. Week to week. I mean, it's really, really tough. I might have to. I might actually go to the comic book store and treat it like a library and then check it out to read it and see if it's good. If I like it, I'll definitely take it. But this cover, oh my god, I love it. Yes.
Yep.
All right. And how about this one here, Alien #1? So it's I think it's volume 2. I think 1 in 25 by Gabriel Delato, and I'll go first. I don't like it. I know he had a variant for the #1 when it first launched, which looked amazing. And then we have this one. I mean, this one's good, but I feel like I've seen this pose. I've seen this done before, so it's nothing new. I do like the detail that the alien has. I think it's fantastic, but I don't feel like it's a 1 in 25 for me. I feel like it could be a good A or B cover, but for an incentive, I kind of just don't see it. So I will definitely pass on this one.
I am a little bit more positive about this one than that. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's brilliant work. But again, the one thing where I do agree is I feel like we've seen this almost identical cover somewhere before. Now, that said, it's really hard to come up with what I guess Laura would call an evergreen cover for Alien that hasn't already been done, right? I mean, there's a ton of them. But I am going to hop back on the same train I've been on all night and talk about the Alex Maleev cover for this book this week.
Oh, no.
Because I think it's the B cover for it, smokes this, and there's a version of it, which is probably, again, a 1 in 100 or some nonsense. I don't know what it is, but I think it actually is a 1 in 100. I have not been a huge fan of that, like 20th Century Fox purple bullshit on the sides of all these movie books that they've been doing. I think it actually ruins the art. So the Virgin looks really great on the Maleev. If I just had them all laid out in front of me and I had to choose one Alien book this week, it would be the Maleev, and I would grab the Virgin of it. But I don't dislike this cover. I think it's a good Delato. My Delato money's going to Vader this week, not to Alien. I also think there's something weird going on in the shoulder section. It's a little too thick up there. That may be my issue with this one. But it is still beautiful, magical work, for lack of a better. I mean, we're being nitpicky. We're awfully spoiled to say.
I know. That is true.
I don't know about this cover. Could you imagine getting this cover in the 90s?
Oh my god.
We would have flipped our shit. I mean,
you know what? It's just, I feel like it. The previous volume that he did for Alien, I like that one so much that seeing this one, I'm like, it's not as good as the one you did before. So, I mean, I do like the detail of it, but it just, for me, it just didn't feel it. Let me quickly bring up the Maleev one.
Look at that cool thing, man.
This is scary.
Yes.
This is a crib.
It feels like the Giger stuff from the design, the design of the film. It also feels a hell of a lot like those old Dark Horse books.
Yes.
So this is the clear winner for me. This is creepy as fuck.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you're right. I mean, it's the Virgin variant, but they do have the regular one.
Look at it's got like the little kid's mobile, like the alien's about to eat a child. Like
that's what I'm like. It's horrifying. It's so horrifying. Scary. My God.
This is the one, man. This is the cover this week. There's no doubt. The Delato's fine, but this one smokes it. In my opinion.
I hate the fact they have this thing. Why do they have this?
Me too. It looks fucking terrible. It ruins the cover. It does. Everyone's saying, "Oh, that's the VHS." No, it's not. I've never seen a 20th Century Fox VHS with that on it. I don't know where people are looking. Somebody said there's a gray version somewhere that looks that's on a VHS. What I know of 20th Century Fox is the black strip across the top that has the gold 20th Century Fox logo in the middle. That's the VHS 20th Century Fox that I remember. But
yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it unless it's some sort of, I don't know, under the table like agreement or something that they have to say this is Fox's property.
Why does it have to be blue or purple? Why couldn't it have been brown so it would match the damn cover?
I know.
It flashes. It's terrible.
All right. How about this one by Ariel Diaz? Avengers Beyond 1 in 25.
Go ahead.
No, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I like the face. I just feel like, oh God, what was this? Oh, what was it? I think Marvel had done maybe a couple years ago, like a video game variant or something like that. They would take like they would have different artists like take and they man, they had a video game during that time it was released, and they would do variants of those characters for these books. And this one looks like
NetEase. It was the NetEase ones. Was it those?
I think so, and I kind of get that video game vibe from it.
Yeah.
So I kind of like it, but at the same time, I kind of don't. I don't feel like this is a 1 in 25. I feel like this should be like a cover B, or like one of those like a Stormbreaker variant, or like video game variant or something like that you can just buy on the regular.
I agree. This has the same sort of like store exclusive variant sort of feel to it. It's too digital video gamey for me. I'll say what Rob usually says. I'll take a copy of her picture instead of the cover.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I like how Trish is like, her head looks so small in relation to the rest of her.
It does. Her neck and her whatever you call this part of your chest is too long. Like her boobs look too low as a result, and then her head looks too small. Yeah, there's some proportional issues going on here.
But yeah, it does remind me
because she doesn't have a lot of hair. That could be could be tricking us a little bit, but still, I think even still, the head's a little small, and the neck and the whatever. I'm sure this has a name, whatever this is.
So Mike, looks like you and James are right? NetEase, those game variants?
The NetEase ones. Yeah, those are the ones I remember. And they're basically just pulled right out of the video game, or pretty damn close.
Yep, and that's how I feel about this one.
Yep.
All right, moving on. I think this is our last one for Money Shot, and this is volume number 2, issue number 1, 1 in 50 by Alexis Flower.
This book has definitely taken some chances on its covers. This is right there with it. I mean, I like it for what it is, but it certainly doesn't feel like an incentive to me. This just looks like a fun B cover to me. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously lots of lasciviousness going on in the cover, which is cool that they got away with that, I guess. Strip club vibes going on. Hate her face. The whole, like, I don't know, duck lip thing. I don't know what's going on there, but the rest of it's cool. It's a cool layout, I guess, and it's a fun cover, but it's certainly just it's a $4 B cover to me. This is certainly not an incentive to me.
I would agree. I think it's a fun cover, but it's definitely not 150 worthy. But you know what? I dug the first series, volume 1. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great. So I'm definitely going to be on board for this one. But yeah, I
just the fact that they called it Money Shot. I mean, Jesus. I can't believe it. Who publishes this book? Is this an Image book?
I think so. You know what? Let me just double check real quick. I think it is. No, it's Vault.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Money Shot Comes Again.
Oh, for God's sake! Of course it is.
No, I really dug the series. I think it's just a good, fun read. But again, 1 in 50, I don't think so. No. Yeah, but I do like the cover. I wish it was like an A or B or something like that. But for 1 in 50, it's gotta wow me, right, to spend that kind of money. And this one just doesn't do it.
No, agreed.
All right. And that, I believe, does it then. So now we're on to our Alex Ross portion of the show where we get to see the 1 in 100s. So we have Loki on Thor number 33. We have Abomination on Hulk number 14. We have the Mole Man on Deadpool number 6. And we have Apocalypse on the Sins of Sinister Dominion number 1. All right, Mike, if you had to pick just one, which one would you choose out of these 1 in 100s?
Probably the Abomination, but not when it came to the colored ones this week. So when you see him colored, it was the Apocalypse all day long for me. The Loki actually looks kind of terrible in both renditions, in my opinion. And Mole Man's just a terrible design altogether. It's not Alex Ross's fault. We can blame Jack for that one, but the Abomination it looks kind of cool in the black and white. I think there's a lot of cool textures going on. And I like the color one, but I much prefer the Apocalypse for the color ones. And I don't know what's going on with the Kang down there in the bottom. I know this is all connecting stuff, so that gets erased out of the cover when it's the color version. So So yeah, black and white, Abomination, color, Apocalypse.
Nice. All right. So I would choose the Apocalypse for the black and white. I think it's cool. And I like how Kang is just I feel like Kang is photobombing him, which is why I like it. He's like, hey, pick me, pick me, pick me. He shouldn't be in this cover at all, but I like the fact that he is, because it just kind of adds a little bit of comedy to it. And I like how Apocalypse is so serious. He's like, what are you doing? Did you just ruin my photo?
Can we retake that, please? Can we
so yeah, I definitely dig it. But my second favorite would be the Abomination, because there's so much like pencil work done in like all these little details on the scales of that Abomination. It looks fantastic. But I just like the Apocalypse one just because of it's like the fun factor.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just kind of fun for me.
I mean, I think we've said this every week about these. Alex Ross's his real draw is not his pencil work; it's his paint. So, I mean, I think these pale in comparison to the painted ones. I don't know why people are paying huge sums of money for these. They are not nearly as good as the colored ones that you can get for $4. But
right,
in my opinion, that's my opinion. I don't know.
And then really quickly, whose hand is on Apocalypse? Like this one right here?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. We'd have to take a look at the whole Alex Ross print. So still chilling. Let me see if I can find that.
Is that MODOK? No, that looks like a female hand to me.
Yeah.
Which doesn't leave us a lot of choices, does it?
No, it doesn't. Let me see.
Excuse me.
See if I can find that image. Okay, so Apocalypse. See if I can blow it up. 1 second.
Oh, did you find the whole poster?
I did. It's Ultron.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So here, I know it's tough to see, but it's right here.
Oh my good lord!
Right. So it's Ultron, and then you have Phoenix, Dark Phoenix's hand right there.
Yeah. Oh, so it's both hands. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's both hands that you see here. So right here is Ultron, and then here is Dark Phoenix.
Cool.
Yep. Yes, I'm sure there's going to be a poster. I think Alex Ross has it on his site already for purchase. Either or not, it's like you have to join a wait list. But it looks like Black Spider and also Trish, like the Thor. Or wait, was that Trish? Nope, sorry. This looks like the Loki one also is another favorite.
I think you'll be disappointed in the color version of the Loki. It's overworked, but
all right. So that does it for our incentives. So now moving on to store exclusives. And speaking of Alex Ross, he has a variant for Batman. He's got 2 of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can only get it on his site right now. You can just join the wait list for it. And then once it's available for sale, you get an email to let you know it's available. And the cost, and I believe the cost is for both issues, $75. So you can only, I don't know what the LE is, but you can only find it on alexross.com. All right, Mike, what are your initial thoughts on this one?
Absolutely love the trade dress one. Like I can't even explain how much I love it. It's obviously like a bump up from I think the cover that it's similar to is a cover that was done by both Neil Adams and Bernie Wrightson. One of them did the pencils, the other did the inks. It's actually a pretty amazing cover too. So I love it. They got the logo right. They got both of the DC and the Price logos right. It's just great. Probably really tough to get a 9.8 with all that black on it. I don't like the other one. So there's, again, like Carrie Andrews, it's the tale of 2 Alex Rosses, right? He does these pastel colored ones that have never really done it for me. He's got one coming out this week for some book. I forget what the heck it is. And I've never really understood the whole purpley, pinky kind of pastel-y look that he does on some of these covers. There's also way too much stuff going on in that cover. So that's a pass for me. But man, if I could just get that one on the left, the trade dress one by itself, I would in a heartbeat. That's really, really cool. Man, that's good.
So would you pay $75 and you would get them both, or you would see if you can get the one?
No way. Because like all of his cover, he does this all the time. There's always one that blows the other one away, and then it's like impossible to sell your spare because nobody wants that other one. So no, I would not. It's not, that cover's not cool enough for me to spend $75 on it. But man, I would really like to be able to get it by itself. It's too bad it can't, or at least not right now anyway. Maybe there'll be eBay sellers splitting them up, but I doubt it.
Ooh, could be right. I agree with you as well. I'm not paying $75 for each. Or for both. I do like this one with the trade dress. I feel like this should have been like the Burt Ward oh my god.
Yeah.
Because the characters look like they're taken from the
Adam
TV
West.
show.
Talking about Adam West.
Adam West, thank you. That I kind of get that vibe from it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it's very like Batman the TV show, but then I'm like,
because it's that pose. It's that
Batman looks like he's on steroids and been like, giving it to Robin. I mean, they look all yoked up. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little too much. I agree.
I'm
trying to figure out what that Batman issue is. Does anyone know off the top of their head what Batman issue I was talking about? The Wrights and Neil Adams one. Oh man, I wish I could remember.
Good.
I'll find it.
I mean,
I will find
it. I like the old school Riddler.
There it is. Batman 241.
241?
Yep.
All right, let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. Batman 241?
Yep.
And it's Wrightson?
It's both of them, if I'm not mistaken. This is my memory, which is a little shot these days. But if I can remember, it's Adams.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You're so right.
There you go.
Whoops. Here we go again. Sorry about that.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it is. I'm going to look on comics database and see.
But yeah, it looks like the same cover.
Yep.
Wow.
We just basically did a painted version of. Now I wonder if down in the fine print, does he say after Adams or anything down there on the bottom?
I don't see anything here.
That's strange. He should have done that, but let's see.
All right.
241. I want to confirm that it's both of them on this cover. I think it is.
Okay. So while you do that, again, moving now on from another artist that has their own website, we're going to go to another artist who also has an exclusive on their site.
And yes, that's confirmed. Pencils, Neil Adams, inks, Bernie Wrightson.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great combo.
Yeah.
All right. We got Mike Mayhew. And you can only find this particular variant on MikeMayhew.com or MikeMayhewArtOrStudio.com. It's LE of 3,000 for the trade and 1,000 for the Virgin, and it'll only set you back $40. And the trade dress is 15, and it's going to be released on Wednesday. And this is the first appearance of Cobb Vanth. So not only is it first in comic book appearance, but also first cover appearance. So, Mike, what are your thoughts on this one?
I don't like it at all, actually, to be honest with you. I don't know why I don't like it. Something weird about the proportions of it. Maybe it's just the way that Cobb wore the armor and it didn't quite fit him, and that was sort of the point. The sort of the thin shoulders and the, I don't know, lanky look to it. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I've just become a Mike Mayhew hater over the last, I don't know. And I don't like that because I love so many of his older covers. But this just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. It seems washed out in some way and it seems a little lazy to me.
Yeah, I would agree. It looks like his shoulders don't look wide enough and his arms look short. There you go, from Trish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I know it's his first appearance, both in book and also on cover, but I think what throws me off a lot is a helmet.
Yeah.
So it looks funny to me.
Maybe too much damage to everything, too. It seems like he over-damaged everything. I know that's part of the way he finds it after the Sarlacc pit, but still. Yeah,
it just looks a little weird. And I don't. Yeah, it looks also too digital for me. I'm not feeling it. Even for $40 or $15 just for the whatchamacallit. So yeah, I'm not liking it a whole lot. Nah. All right, let's just move on really quickly to the next one. We have Amazing Spider-Man number 26 by Warren Liu, and it's from the Four Horsemen. LE of 3,000 for the trade and 1,000 for the Virgin variant at $50.
This looks like some girl getting ready to go out and cosplay. I hate it. I mean, look. So Warren Liu raised the bar substantially for himself when he came out with that Wonder Woman Black and Gold or whatever it was that everyone went ape shit over. And that's he needs to be there for me to want his covers. If it doesn't get to that level, I don't want it. Yeah, this is like overly sexified and big boobs and hips and pouty lips and the whole thing. I get it, but like, how many of these covers have we gotten? It doesn't even really look like the character, to be honest with you. So it just, like I said, it just looks like some random girl ready to go out to the club because they said she needed to dress like a Marvel character. So I don't know. I don't really like it. It's also just way too digital looking for me, which I think is why I love that Wonder Woman cover, because it didn't. He managed to like step away from that. He did something on that cover that really changed the game for me, and he's right back to the overly digified, not a word, but digified look. So it's just it's a sleeper to me. I do like on the panned out version. I like that the hair is in the foreground. It's like what we talked about earlier. To provide some depth, you put that sort of that thing in focus or like out of focus right at the front of the cover on the edge there, her hair, so that it pushes everything else back and creates depth. That's smart artistically. So I like that part of it, but I don't really like anything else.
Man, wow. I hate to say it, but I bought this.
Of course you did.
I love it. Not only do I just like Warren Liu, but I also, Black Cat's one of my favorite characters. I dig it for everything that you don't like about it. I like that she's thick. I'm like that it's sexy. After looking at what also Trish had mentioned, like those eyes look dead. I can see it. I can totally see it. Again, she does mention in the comments that those eyes look a little dead. Yes,
yeah, she's about to go out to the club, man. She's already high. She's pre-gamed.
Yeah. Yes, Apollo. I did buy it. Yes, it is my cover. For sure. I like the cats. I like the pictures here. I like the little beanie baby or whatever it is here, like on the bottom. I liked everything about this cover. I thought it was great.
Actually, I kind of dig that Spidey kind of peeking out through the hair there. Actually, that's cool. I didn't see that. I missed that.
So I thought like, hey, $50. I'm like, oh, this is a no-brainer. It did sell out, by the way, on the weekend.
Of course it did.
The whole set. But again, I don't know how many they allocated because you never know. But I thought it was great, especially coming off of the Power Girl that he did for Action Comics. I thought this was his first endeavor with Marvel, so I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah,
nothing's gonna beat that Wonder Woman, man.
Still chilling, yes. Oh, yep.
You're such a mark. You got sucker.
I can't help it.
Come on, man. There's so many movie covers. Really,
I can't help it. I got distracted. I got distracted. I'm sorry.
You're weak. You're so weak.
Oh my god. Yes, I like it. All right. How about this one by Trish Forstner? I don't know what the LE is, but it's $20. It's for Something Epic #1 that you can find at Bird City Comics or Devil Dog Comics, and it is a Tiny Toon adventure.
It's perfect. I mean, it's exactly right. I mean, again, every single time, it's perfect. It's I probably wouldn't even care about this book if it weren't for this cover. Now I kind of want this. I want to read it because I want this cover, so I'll pop it open when I get it. But it's perfect. She nails all the little details. She gets it right. You know exactly what it is the moment you see it. I know nothing about this book or anything about the characters in it. Do you? I don't know anything about it.
I have no idea. So for me, I didn't know this was a homage for Tiny Toon Adventures until I was told it was a homage for Tiny Toon Adventures.
I knew right away, but
I mean, I watched Tiny Toons when I was growing up. I watched Tiny Toons with my son. I just didn't know. I mean, I think it's okay. I like it, but I just don't see the homage part. I don't know what this. I guess he's doing karate because I tried to figure out what this was there, and then I guess this pink here is part of the cat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just certain things here that I just don't, and I guess I don't know the characters, at least for me.
I like that they got away with being able to put Bird City Comics Presents on the top. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that's
all right. Thanks, Trish. Yeah, I couldn't. I just couldn't see it.
I think so if we're being, Trish is always worried. I think that I'm going to eventually tear a piece of hers apart, and this is not going to be the one because I like this piece. But if we're being completely honest, is this Trish's best work? No, I don't think it's her best cover. In her catalog. But also when you're doing homages like this, you're at the mercy of whatever the characters are in the book. You got to try to fit them into whatever the thing is that you're trying to do. So I don't know these characters at all. And it is the thing that it is, whether the artist likes it or not. That's the tricky part with homages, right? Like sometimes it works perfect. Like I'm thinking of that Dark Ride one that was supposed to be the Mario Kart homage, which was fucking amazing.
Which was awesome.
Right. And of course the 8 billion genies one that was Mario 3. And like those obviously are like for the Trish Forstner catalog. But this, I mean, this hits for me. And this is, I knew right away what it was. I'm surprised you didn't.
Yeah, you know what? It's because of the 4 characters. Because normally when you see it, or when I saw it, it was always Buster and Babs. And so it took me a while to actually find this this picture right here. And traditionally, at least when you go for Google Images or just trying to find Tiny Toons, it's Buster and Babs. It doesn't have I forgot what the duck's name is. And also the pig. Oh my god. But yeah, they don't have them. But after seeing this, and then after being told that this was a Tiny Toons homage, I was like, oh, okay, now I can see it.
I think maybe the only criticism I would have of the cover, if I had to criticize something, is the bubble look to the concentric circles that the original has. Sort of like the I don't
Thanks,
know, kind
Trish.
of sort of the rounded look to them. I think that might have been that might have hit a little harder for you if you had seen it that way, like if you'd seen sort of the rounded look to those concentric circles. But we're also it's not a landscape cover, right? So it's really hard to do that on a portrait cover because you're trying to get all the circles in there, which is hard to do. So I get it's a tough choice, but
no, I mean I get it, and you know what, I'm in the minority here, but yeah, when I was doing research to find all this stuff for it, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't find it. So for me, it just but again, I'm in the minority. I know the chat really loves the work, as you can see here. So they're digging it, and even what was it? Still Chillin'. I had mentioned hey, I liked it, and it does have that nostalgia. So he identified it just like yourself, Mike, right away that this was what it was, right?
And I'm also a huge Looney Tunes fan. I'm a huge animation fan too. So, and to be fair, Trish is one of the only ones doing it right now, doing it sort of old school and correct, in my opinion. So these are always refreshing to see every time something like this comes out, or like a new Darkwing Duck or a new Gargoyles or whatever it is she's working on. Like everybody else is trying to take it to a different place, and Trish is just doing the animation thing like it's supposed to be. So I really like that. Maybe I'm a sucker. Maybe I'm the mark. Maybe I'm the Trish Forstner mark. I don't know. but it's something that I've always loved growing up. I collect animation cells, and it's a thing that I like as part of the sidelines of my hobby, and so she hits me in that part of my heart too. So
I like this comic, Animaniacs next.
Ooh, yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and price point too, $20. It's
pretty good
great.
price.
Yep, it is.
I want something Jetsons.
It's
like that 60s, that sort of 60s aesthetic with the painted
cool.
background, but like with the animation over the top. I don't know. Just throwing that out there, Trish. Find a space book that you can do a little buzzy spaceship cars.
All right. And then moving on to the next one. This is Chilling Adventures, Jinx Cursed Life. It's part of that whole Archie set by Stadium Comics by Riko Murakami. And this is the metal virgin variant. So it was LE for $25 and a cost of $60. But you can also get it if you like it and missed out on the $25 because it was super limited. There is a standard A cover.
That's really cheap for a metal, isn't it? Isn't $60 cheap for a metal?
It is, because normally they're like $100 or so.
And man, sometimes, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the shows, if they're just done with, because I know they canceled the Sabrina show.
They did.
Well, they ended it, I guess, technically, but I don't know if there's going to be more of this stuff ever coming, but there's possible spec on this kind of stuff if they continue to do any kind of television with this. I don't really know. I don't love this cover. Whatever. I don't know who Reiko Murakami is, but it's okay. I don't know. I want them to have sort of an older school feel to them, more like the Frankavilla covers for the Archie and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, or the Hack. Like those seem like the right kind of artists for those books. This doesn't really seem like it matches. This feels more Buffy to me.
I would agree. That's one of the reasons why I also don't like it. I felt like this is like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So you nailed it. You were like, it's like you read my mind, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is like Buffy.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think it would have been more appropriate for that title than this particular one. But overall, I think it's good art. But it's just, I think it's the wrong book. And it doesn't have the what is it? Like you had mentioned, the Archie feel to it. Like all the books that have been put out by Stadium Comics have that Archie feel.
Yeah.
This one does not.
No.
And they did do a Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and stuff like that, but they made it feel like an Archie book. This one didn't.
Agreed.
Oh man,
that wasn't that harsh. I don't think the art's bad. I just think it doesn't match the book. That's all.
Yep, I would agree with you. All right, how about this one here by Lobos?
God's sake, no.
Yes, from Bird City Comics. You have the regular cover for LE of 100.
What is happening on this cover?
A foil of 50. This is for Bad Girl. You know how they had Bad Boy and it was a dog? This is Bad Girl and this is with a cat.
Okay.
And then you have a medal for $25. Cost is $30, $50, and $80 respectively. And I dig it for everything that this is. It's a parody.
Obviously.
I love it. I think it's great. I love that they have all the weapons in the back. I like that Lobos, put some background into it, right? Because like based on our interview with him, he had mentioned that a lot of these stores don't like to have the background. They're just like, I want the character front and center, and that's what he draws. But it's great that it just looks insane. And that's why I dig it. Like if I was, and just so you guys know, this is only available at the Amazing Las Vegas Con at booth 145. So you're in Las Vegas, going to this con. This is one of the books to get. This is so crazy.
I don't know.
And I dig the art too. I mean, I think it's fantastic. And look, you're all red, Mike. What's going on?
Because I have no idea what to say about this. I mean, like,
you know what? Just be honest. Come on, just let it all out.
I'm gonna be, because I always am. But like, so I think about. I've always used this analogy, like the dudes who like when Eastman and Laird and whomever else sat down and came up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and how high they must have been. when they came up with it. And then I think about this, and I'm like, where did this concept come from initially? And so from a limitation standpoint, 150 and 25, these they're going to blow out. They're going to be gone in a second. Lobos is hot. The art is good. I have a problem with how sexy it is. It's a freaking cat, but and the clientele that's going to want it weirds me out a little bit, I think maybe. It's funny as hell, and I can look at it from a comedic standpoint. It's gonna sell out. There's no question about it. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But this is
Just
too.
mention it. It's furries.
Yeah, this creeps me out too much to want.
Is it because you find the cat sexy? Is that it?
No. Thank God I don't. It's a good test. Here I am live.
Oh my
testing
God.
Testing my worth.
And I'm glad, war porns. There you go.
And I'm glad to say that this does nothing for me from a sex appeal standpoint. It's just fucking weird. But I get that there is a clientele for this, and all the power to those folks. All 175 of you, or however many of you are going to end up with these. Congratulations. You're going to get the book you want. Yay. Yep. For a pretty damn good price too.
Just not the book you want, right, Mike?
That is correct. And trust me, like I have my own problems with butts and things like that. I get it. Like I know that there are books that I would buy that most people wouldn't just because there's a butt on the cover. But cat butts.
Oh my God. All right. How about this one by Ben Harvey? So this is going to be for Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is from Carnivore Comics. There is going to be a trade dress. It's going to be LE of 3,000 and the Virgin variant 1,000. The cost, I have no clue, but here's the art. What are your thoughts, Mike?
Nah, this is a hard pass. It's not even very good. And it looks like a billion other covers. This is white noise. People will not even know what this thing is in a month. I think even if it were free, I would say, you got anything else?
Yeah, I would agree. But you know what? I like the fact that you can tell that Nebula is a robot with her robot
butt.
With her robot butt, right? But yeah, I'm not liking it at all. That number 3,000, 1,000 is too much for me. I don't even know what the cost is. I would assume it's probably going to be like $40 or $50. But again, it's there we go. Look at that.
Low booty. Nice.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it either. I think it's meh. There's not a lot of detail. I mean, look at Mantis's face. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like, you know what, this could be like street art. That's the vibe I'm getting for this is street art, but I just feel like it's not very good.
Agreed.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next one here. We have Silk #1 by Tiago da Silva from the Four Horsemen, LE of 500 with a cost of 40. All right.
Oh, screen grab from a video game again. Here we are with the NetEase covers.
Yes.
This should be a $4 cover. And yeah, I mean, are we even going to talk about the other 2,500 copies? I mean, come on, guys.
Warehouse finds. Come on, Mike.
Do they really think people are people that dumb? Come on.
I hope not.
Seriously, I really hope not. Guys, there are 3,000 of these in existence. You can put whatever number you want on the website, but there are 3,000 of these. So wherever they pop up, who knows? Maybe it's one of those things where they knew it wasn't that great a cover when they got it, and they're trying to figure out some way to sell it, which I guess I can't fault them for. I mean, this is capitalism at its finest. But man, $40 for a trade dressed thing that there's 3,000 of that looks like it's a screen grab from a video game is the hardest pass of the night, I think, for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like it. And for everything that you said, I mean, we know already, like Marvel does 3,000 of these, and 1,000 of the Virgin. So seriously, 2,500 unaccounted for, warehouse fines. I don't know. They're all in CGC. Who knows? But yeah, I don't like it. And it's funny too, because Thiago da Silva did another one that we kind of reviewed a while ago, maybe about a month ago or so, for the exact same Silk #1, and I think it's a better one. But this one I just don't like it. It's just, I feel like it's very lifeless to me, and I think it has to do a lot with the face and the eyes. But yeah, there's not much going on. I don't know. Maybe the spider webs are cool from her fingertips.
Yeah, that's the coolest part of it, I think, too.
Other than that, I'm like, yeah, it's a hard pass for me. All right. Let me see. Is that it? That is it. We made it through the store exclusives.
Gosh. Okay.
Whew. All right, Mike, tell us where we can find you.
All right. You can find me every week on Tuesdays, either late morning or early afternoon, depending on your time zone, at CBSI. That's comicbookinvest.com, where I drop Cover Fire, which is the antithesis to this podcast. It is the non-incentive, non-exclusive covers for the week. So your A, B, and C regularly priced covers. And this week's yet another good week, especially if you like Alex Maleev. He has 3 covers on the list this week. Spoiler alert. So that's that. And then Cover Tunes, which I drop sporadically now, is a sort of interior kind of soundtrack of mine of just books that I like, that I think are either under the radar or people have forgotten about or never really hit or are so obscure that people have never seen, or things I would just want to remind people about. So I just did an RC Transformers issue a couple of weeks ago, and there is a Star Wars one in the works. I'm about halfway done with that, so expect that in a week or 2. So I'm doing them about once or twice a month now instead of once every week. Just too much with an 11-month-old and a 4-year-old. It's really hard to write 2 articles, but I make sure Cover Fire's there every week, as do a lot of the other guys, to get you ready for your Wednesday Warrior trip to your LCS, to get you all the info you need for the new books that are coming out. So go over there and check that out at comicbookinvest.com.
That's right. And I love all the articles. I love reading them. It's a quick read. It kind of gets me prepared as I head over to the LCS. And I mean, it's great that you are very involved with the comments. So when people drop a comment, you're quick to respond. So it's just great overall. You guys should definitely check it out if you haven't already, before you head out to your LCS, either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yep. I love chatting with people in the comments. So please don't be shy. Drop me a comment. Try to be respectful if you can, but even if you can't, drop a comment.
I love it. I mean, and it's true, right? I mean, all of us have different tastes with art, right? We keep saying art is subjective. And Mike, I love your disclaimer. If you'd like to say that again.
No artists were harmed in the making of this podcast.
That's right. That's right. I mean, we love all the artists here. They're here drawing covers because we can't.
Copyright 2022, Trish Forstner.
That's right.
Or trademark, I guess I should say.
So you know what? We may be harsh on them, but again, we know that a lot of the viewership, or a lot of us, put our money to these books that we have a direct connection to, or like certain things. So hopefully like some of these retailers might listen to us. So you never know.
Well, a lot of this too, and we've said this before as well, is that some of these artists are our favorite artists, and we hold them to a high level of expectation. And if they don't meet that expectation, then we often don't like those covers. It's not because we think they're bad. It's just because we think that particular cover didn't quite do what we know they're capable of, right? An Alex Ross or a Jenny Frisson or Trish or any of our favorites that we like. We're not going to love every cover, and it's not possible sometimes. So don't take it personally if you're out there, Miss Momoko. They're
I love you, Peach.
Even some of the artists that I don't generally like often have some great covers that I do like. So, Pete, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm not a huge Peach Momoko fan, but she's got a couple of great covers that I have to own. So,
the Army of Artists. I like that, GT.
Sort of the way it is. So yeah, try not to take it too personally, and art is subjective, and like what you like and buy what you want, buy what you like and put your money towards the things that you want. Even if it were all worthless tomorrow and you went back through your boxes, would you still be happy you owned it?
Exactly. I would agree with that comment. All right, and before we head on out, again, as always, don't forget Cover Price is one of our sponsors, so head on over there and use Nerdvana 14 for 30 days of unlimited Cover Price for just 99 cents. It's under $1. I mean, my God, for 30 days, it's fantastic. And then don't forget to use TNH10 to save yourself 10% off your purchases over at Bird City Comics. And over at our friends at DisplayGeek.com, you can save 10% off your first purchase by using Team Nerd Herd as a discount code. All right. And thank you, Mike, as always. Thank you, chat, for bearing with us here as we go through all of these. And Mike, can you please send us out?
I sure will. If you want to do it right, buy what you like, cover horse for life.